everyone! Welcome to Team Jesus PH Book Study Series. And we are currently studying the Book of Revelation. At few reminders lang, we are just going to have a short study. Basic study lang ang pag-aaralan natin. And I also suggest that you read the chapter in the Bible first or while you're watching this video. And of course, don't forget to pray as you study this book. So, Chapter 12. Kalahati na po ang natapos natin. And again, in this chapter, if you are tuning in sa previous videos natin, nagkakaroon ng interlude or pause. So, may events sa tribulation, nangyayari yung 7 trumpet judgments, and then magpo-pause bago yung pang-7, and then babalik ulit sa right order, and then magpo-pause na naman. Dahil dito sa chapter 12, ganun ulit ang mangyayari. Magpo-pause na naman. So, in Revelation chapter 12 to 14, take note of this, it will focus on the important characters dito sa end times. So, ang Revelation chapter 12, chapter 13, and chapter 14, parenthetical chapter na naman siya, may pause ulit, at ipapakilala sa atin yung mga important characters in this book. So, share ko na lang sila in advance bago natin ituloy itong Revelation chapter 12. So, sa Revelation chapter 12, we are introduced sa Israel, kay Archangel Michael, kay Jesus at kay Satan. Siya yung dragon. Si Satan yung dragon. And then, sa Revelation 13 naman, in advance, I just want to share right away, inintroduce sa atin yung Satanic Trinity, which consists of Satan, siya yung dragon, yung Antichrist, siya yung beast, and yung false prophet, which is called the other beast or another beast. So, pareho silang beast. And then, sa Revelation 14 naman, we are introduced sa 144,000 Jews and tribulation saints na nasave during the tribulation period. So, sila yung mga naligtas na nagtalaga ng buhay nila, na nampalataya sila kay Jesus in the midst of the tribulation. So, yan yung mga pag-aaralan natin sa chapter 12, 13, and 14. Pero dito, starting sa chapter 12, we will be introduced sa cast of characters ng tribulation. So, ito na. At dito sa chapter 12 muna, the woman represents Israel. So, take note of that. Pag sinabing woman, hindi siya literal na isang babae lang, but it represents Israel. The dragon, this is Satan. Si Satan. The man-child na binabanggit, it refers to Jesus. The angel Michael, well, siya talaga si Archangel Michael, siya yung head or leader ng angelic beings or angelic host. And then, the offspring of the woman, ito yung Gentiles na masisave sa tribulation period. And then, also the beast out of the sea, this represents the Antichrist. And yung beast naman out of the earth, so may another beast, it represents the false prophet who promotes the Antichrist. So, take note na yung kalaban or kontrabida or villain sa story na to are the Satanic Trinity. Specifically, the dragon and the 2 beasts. Ito yung dalawang beasts, yung Antichrist at yung false prophet. As si Satan yung pinaka-leader nila. And notice talaga na ginagaya nila yung Trinity. And that's why they are called ng mga Bible teachers or scholars, ang tawag sa team nila is the Unholy Trinity or Satanic Trinity. Now, let's officially start with Revelation chapter 12. So, intro pa lang tayo, and ngayon pa lang tayo magsisimula talaga sa verse 1. So, in verses 1 to 2, meron daw babae, which represents the nation of Israel. And this is not Mary, okay? Hindi ito si Mary. We won't go into much details dahil, again, basic lang ang pag-aaral natin. Pero you can do your own study here at malalaman nyo na nation ng Israel ang tinutukoy dito at hindi literal na babae. So, the woman who is pregnant and in pain, which refers to Israel, sila yung naghihintay for a very long time sa panganganak o yung pagdating ng Messiah, ni Jesus. So again, take note na hindi si Mary ang tinutukoy na babae dito, but the nation of Israel as a whole. So in verses 3 to 4, meron daw red na dragon, which is Satan, and the dragon is pictured na naghihintay siya for the birth of the child nitong babae is verse 1. And this refers to the birth of Jesus. at ang maraming attempts ng pagpigil sa pagkakapanganak ni Jesus. Remember, yung mga attempts ni Herod to kill the infant Jesus? Dahil si Satan gusto niya talaga all along na hindi matuloy ang birth ng pagkakatawang tao ng Panginoon para hindi rin matuloy yung crucifixion niya at yung salvation natin. And verse 4 also tells us that the dragon's tail drew a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. And it is believed that this represents the one-third ng angelic being na nagrebelde kasama ni Satan at naging fallen angels dahil tinapon sila pababa mula sa langit. So, matututunan din natin to in the Old Testament sa mga prophetic books there. So, here is just a metaphor at probably hindi totoong stars, no? Symbolika lang. And then in verse 5, it is clear na yung child born of this woman, it refers to Jesus. So si Jesus yung tinutukoy na magre-rule sa lahat ng nations with a rod of iron, according to sa Psalms 2:9 and Revelation 19:15. So in verse 6 naman, sabi naman dito, sa loob daw ng 1,260 days. So again, this is 3.5 years. Again, this refers to the second half ng tribulation. Sa loob daw ng second half ng tribulation, Jesus will protect the nation of Israel from the Antichrist. So, poprotektahan ni Jesus yung nation of Israel sa Antichrist. Remember, yung Antichrist, gigil na gigil siya. Gusto niyang sirain yung nation ng Israel. So, this will frustrate the Antichrist dahil gusto nga niyang ubusin at completely sirain yung mga Israelites. But Jesus will protect them, sabi dito. And then in verses 7 to 9, meron pang mga events no na kinikwento sa atin o pinapaalam sa atin. Nagkaroon daw ng gera sa langit. And take note, this is happening in the midpoint ng tribulation as prophesied in Daniel 12:1. So dito, nilabanan ni Michael ang dragon. So yung dragon, that is Satan or si Lucifer na dating angel. Si Michael naman, he is the archangel or leader ng angels. So si Michael, kasama niyan lumaban yung iba pang holy angels, pero lumaban din daw pabalik yung dragon, si Satan, at yung mga unholy angels niya, referring to the one-third ng fallen angels na kumampi kay Satan. So, and verse 8 tells us na natalo yung dragon. Of course, natalo si Satan. Verse 9 tells us na si Satan nga talaga ang dragon na to at tinapon siya sa lupa kasama yung mga fallen angels na kumampi sa kanya. And here in verses 10 to 12, it tells us na completely wala ng access si Satan sa langit. And this also means na before this, Satan does have access to heaven. Remember, si Satan, he is accusing God's people before God's throne. Tulad sa story ni Job in Job 1 verses 6 to 12. So si Satan before, meron siyang access, nakakapunta pa siya sa langit, sa throne ng Panginoon. But in summary dito, simply imagine na yung nangyari, it was like a dramatic scene ng battle between good angels and bad angels. At syempre, the good angels that was led by Michael, Archangel Michael, sila ang nanalo. Kaya naman here in verses 13 to 18, basahin pa natin, galit na galit ang dragon. Galit na galit si Satan. So anong ginawa niya? Hinabol niya yung babae. Remember, the woman represents the Israelites. Hinabol ni Satan yung mga Israelites. Gusto niyang sirain, gusto niyang saktan. But the rest of the verses tells us that Jesus will protect the Israelites. At si Satan, pag-iinitan naman niya yung other offspring or iba pang anak. And this refers to the Gentiles na naging Christian during the tribulation period. So, ang mga Gentiles, again, sila yung mga hindi Israelites. So, imagine, after Satan, pati yung mga bad angels na inalis sila sa langit, inalisan sila ng access, dito meron silang short time pa sa mundo to deceive many people. And during this time, pag-iinitan ni Satan ang Israel at lahat ng followers pa ni Jesus sa mundo. Pag-iinitan sila ni Satan, but we know of course that they are all protected by the Lord. Limitado pa rin ang power ni Satan. Si Jesus pa rin ang mas higit na makapangyarihan, all-powerful than Him. So, quick summary dito sa chapter 12, nag-pause muna ulit sa chronological order at nakilala natin yung mga important characters sa end times. So, I hope and pray that we've learned a lot from this video, and we have 10 more chapters to go. So, I hope that you will keep studying, you stay with me, and I'll hope to see you again tomorrow dahil pag-aaralan naman natin is the next chapter, Revelation chapter 13.